What I remember mostly
Yes.
is the moments. You know, did I hit that moment? What was that moment? Was there a fight sequence there? Oh, yeah, I remember falling asleep on the.
When people think about Star Trek, they usually picture daring missions, legendary captains, and groundbreaking science fiction. What many fans never realize, however, is that some of the franchise's most unforgettable moments were born from complete chaos behind the cameras. Lines were forgotten, props malfunctioned, costumes fell apart, actors burst into laughter, and technical disasters regularly brought filming to a standstill. Ironically, many of these unexpected accidents ended up making the series even more memorable. Instead of ruining the magic, they revealed the human side of one of television's greatest franchises. Decades later, these behind-the-scenes stories remain just as entertaining as the episodes themselves. Creating a futuristic universe on a television budget was never easy. Every episode demanded elaborate sets, alien makeup, complicated props, and visual effects that pushed the limits of available technology. While viewers saw the polished adventures of the Enterprise, the cast and crew often found themselves dealing with problems no script could prepare them for. Sometimes those problems caused hours of delays. Other times they resulted in hilarious moments that everyone on set remembered for years. One of the biggest reasons Star Trek became so beloved was the chemistry between its cast. That chemistry wasn't limited to what audiences saw on screen. Between takes, the actors constantly joked with each other, laughed through mistakes, and occasionally struggled to keep straight faces during serious scenes. Those genuine friendships helped create the warmth that fans still associate with the franchise today. Not every filming mistake disappeared into the editing room. Sometimes unexpected moments slipped into the final episode, giving sharp-eyed viewers little surprises that became legendary among longtime fans. A background prop behaving strangely, an actor fighting to stay in character, or an accidental reaction during an emotional scene could eventually become one of the most talked-about moments in Star Trek history. As the years passed, collections of outtakes and bloopers became treasured by fans because they showed something the episodes rarely could: the real personalities behind the iconic characters. Watching Captain Kirk burst into laughter or seeing Spock struggle through forgotten dialogue reminded everyone that beneath the uniforms were actors enjoying the experience just as much as the audience enjoyed watching them. The original Star Trek series was especially vulnerable to unexpected mishaps. Production schedules were tight, budgets were limited, and nearly every futuristic gadget had to be built by hand. Unlike today's productions that rely heavily on computer-generated imagery, nearly everything in those early years depended on practical effects. That meant if a prop failed or a special effect didn't work exactly as planned, filming often came to an immediate halt while the crew scrambled to fix the problem. Sometimes those delays created opportunities no one expected. Actors would begin improvising to stay in character while technicians rushed to repair equipment. Directors occasionally found these spontaneous performances more entertaining than what had originally been written. Instead of starting over, they adapted the scenes, allowing natural reactions to become part of the story. Leonard Nimoy became famous for portraying the calm, logical Spock, but maintaining that serious personality wasn't always easy. Behind the scenes, even Nimoy occasionally lost his composure when something unexpected happened during filming. Cast members later recalled moments when forgotten dialogue or an accidental joke would send everyone into fits of laughter, forcing multiple retakes before they could continue. Those light-hearted interruptions helped balance the demanding production schedule and strengthen friendships that lasted long after filming ended. William Shatner was equally known for bringing energy to every scene, but that enthusiasm sometimes created its own challenges. His dramatic performances occasionally led to unexpected bloopers that became favorites among the crew. Rather than becoming frustrated, Shatner usually embraced the mistakes with humor, helping keep morale high during long production days. His willingness to laugh at himself encouraged everyone else to do the same. Even something as simple as costumes could create enormous headaches. Star Trek featured dozens of alien species, each requiring intricate makeup, elaborate prosthetics, and carefully designed uniforms. Applying those costumes often took several hours before filming could even begin. If a prosthetic shifted out of place or a wig slipped during an important scene, the entire production had to stop while makeup artists repaired everything. The actors themselves showed remarkable patience throughout these challenges. Wearing heavy latex makeup under bright studio lights wasn't comfortable, especially during long filming sessions. Yet despite the discomfort, many performers stayed completely committed to their roles, even when unexpected problems interrupted the scene. Their professionalism helped maintain the illusion of a believable science fiction universe despite the difficult conditions behind the camera. Props created another constant source of surprises. Every communicator, tricorder, phaser, and futuristic control panel had been specially constructed to look advanced despite being built from ordinary materials. Because these devices weren't always reliable, they occasionally malfunctioned at the worst possible moments. Buttons refused to light up, sound effects failed to trigger, or mechanical parts simply stopped working. Instead of allowing these technical problems to ruin the day, the production crew often displayed remarkable creativity. Damaged props were quickly repaired using whatever materials happened to be nearby, while directors adjusted scenes to hide obvious problems from viewers. This ability to think on their feet became one of the production team's greatest strengths and helped Star Trek maintain its ambitious vision despite limited resources. Special effects presented an even greater challenge. Long before digital technology transformed filmmaking, every explosion, transporter effect, and space battle required careful planning using physical models, lighting tricks, and optical effects. Creating just a few seconds of finished footage often demanded hours of preparation. If one tiny element failed, the entire sequence frequently had to be repeated from the beginning. The transporter effect, now one of Star Trek's most recognizable visual trademarks, required particularly careful execution. Multiple pieces of film had to be combined to create the illusion that characters were dissolving into energy before reappearing elsewhere. Even the smallest mistake could ruin the effect, forcing the crew to repeat an already time-consuming process. Yet despite these technical obstacles, the finished result amazed audiences and became one of the defining images of the franchise. Lighting crews also played an enormous role in creating Star Trek's futuristic atmosphere. Colored lights, carefully placed shadows, and reflective surfaces transformed ordinary studio sets into alien worlds. However, achieving that illusion wasn't always simple. Minor lighting problems could reveal flaws in costumes, expose unfinished parts of a set, or accidentally cast reflections where none were supposed to appear. Every adjustment required patience and precision. Despite all these obstacles, the production rarely lost its sense of fun. Cast and crew understood they were attempting something television had never truly accomplished before. Every challenge became another opportunity to solve problems creatively, and every unexpected mistake added another story to Star Trek's growing legend. Those moments of laughter, improvisation, and determination created an atmosphere unlike almost any other television production. Ironically, many of the very bloopers that once delayed filming are now celebrated by fans as unforgettable pieces of Star Trek history. They remind us that behind every heroic mission, every dramatic speech, and every journey into deep space stood a group of talented people working tirelessly and sometimes laughing uncontrollably to bring an impossible universe to life. And as the franchise expanded into newer series like The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and Enterprise, the behind-the-scenes stories only became more unbelievable. Bigger budgets introduced more advanced technology, but they also created entirely new kinds of filming disasters that proved even the 24th century wasn't immune to a little chaos. As Star Trek evolved through new generations, filming became more ambitious than ever before. Larger sets, more sophisticated visual effects, and increasingly detailed alien worlds gave audiences an even richer universe to explore. But while technology improved, one thing never changed: unexpected problems still found a way to interrupt production. In fact, some of the franchise's funniest behind-the-scenes moments happened during its later series, proving that no amount of preparation could eliminate the unpredictable nature of filmmaking. One of the biggest changes came with the growing use of computer-generated effects. Productions like Star Trek, The Next Generation and the series that followed combined practical effects with early CGI, allowing the Enterprise to travel through spectacular cosmic environments that would have been impossible just a few years earlier. However, this new technology created its own set of headaches. Computer-generated sequences often took weeks to complete, and even a small production change could force entire scenes to be reworked from scratch. Schedules became tighter, budgets grew larger, and everyone involved had to adapt quickly whenever technical issues appeared. Despite these challenges, the actors continued bringing warmth and personality to every episode. Many performers were encouraged to add natural reactions whenever the moment felt right. These subtle improvisations often made conversations feel more believable than what had originally been written. Instead of delivering every line exactly as scripted, experienced actors occasionally added pauses, facial expressions, or humorous remarks that gave their characters even greater depth. The chemistry between the main cast became one of Star Trek's greatest strengths. Whether it was the playful rivalry between logical officers and emotional crewmates or the quiet respect shared between longtime friends, many of those relationships grew naturally because the actors genuinely enjoyed working together. Off-camera friendships often translated into more convincing performances once the cameras started rolling again. Guest stars also played an important role in keeping every series fresh. Throughout Star Trek's history, countless talented performers stepped aboard the Enterprise and other Federation vessels, each bringing unique personalities that expanded the universe. Some appeared only once, while others returned repeatedly to become fan favorites. Their performances helped introduce unforgettable villains, mysterious allies, and fascinating alien cultures that kept audiences invested for decades. Among the most memorable recurring characters were individuals whose presence completely changed the energy of an episode whenever they appeared. Wise mentors, unpredictable tricksters, ruthless enemies, and beloved family members all became essential parts of Star Trek's ever-expanding mythology. Their appearances demonstrated that memorable storytelling wasn't limited to the main cast alone. Costume and makeup departments also continued pushing creative boundaries. Every new alien civilization demanded original designs that looked believable while remaining practical enough for actors to perform in during long shooting days. Creating these appearances required countless hours of sculpting, painting, and testing before cameras even rolled. Although viewers only saw the finished result for a few minutes on screen, each costume represented weeks of careful planning and craftsmanship. Many of the futuristic devices featured throughout Star Trek also became symbols of real-world innovation. The communicator inspired generations of engineers dreaming about portable wireless communication. The tricorder sparked ideas about handheld medical technology, while voice-controlled computer systems seemed remarkably futuristic when they first appeared. Over time, many inventions that once existed only on television gradually found real-life counterparts, reinforcing Star Trek's reputation for imagining tomorrow's technology long before it arrived. The optimistic vision of the future extended far beyond gadgets. Star Trek consistently portrayed technology as something designed to improve people's lives rather than replace them. Medical tools focused on healing patients quickly and comfortably, computers worked alongside human crews, and scientific discoveries encouraged exploration instead of fear. This hopeful philosophy became one of the franchise's defining qualities and helped separate it from many darker science fiction stories. Of course, not every scene survived the editing process. Writers constantly revised scripts to improve pacing, simplify complicated plots, or fit strict television runtimes. Entire conversations, emotional character moments, and even complete storylines were sometimes removed before an episode reached viewers. While fans occasionally discovered these deleted scenes years later through special releases, they also gained a greater appreciation for how much work went into shaping every finished episode. Even the original pilot underwent dramatic changes before Star Trek finally reached television audiences. Creative adjustments, rewritten stories, and production decisions helped transform the series into the phenomenon that would eventually inspire multiple spin-offs, blockbuster films, novels, and generations of devoted fans. Looking back today, it's remarkable how many important creative decisions happened because producers were forced to solve unexpected problems along the way. Perhaps the most charming aspect of Star Trek's production history is how its imperfections became part of its legacy. Fans never expected every episode to be flawless. Instead, they embraced the occasional continuity error, misplaced prop, or accidental laugh because those moments revealed something authentic about the people creating the show. Rather than weakening the illusion, these small mistakes reminded audiences that extraordinary adventures were being brought to life by dedicated artists working under enormous pressure. As home video releases introduced blooper reels and behind-the-scenes documentaries, viewers gained an entirely new appreciation for the franchise. Watching actors forget lines, struggle to keep straight faces, or laugh through unexpected mishaps created a stronger connection between fans and the performers they admired. These candid moments revealed friendships, professionalism, and genuine enthusiasm that couldn't always be seen during the finished episodes. Today, conventions, documentaries, and fan communities continue celebrating these unforgettable behind-the-scenes stories. Longtime viewers love sharing production secrets, pointing out hidden bloopers, and discussing the incredible ingenuity that allowed Star Trek to accomplish so much with limited resources. New generations of fans discover these stories every year, adding fresh appreciation for the creativity that built one of television's greatest science fiction universes. Looking back, it's clear that Star Trek's greatest strength wasn't simply its starships, futuristic technology, or thrilling adventures. It was the passionate cast and crew who refused to let setbacks stop them. Every malfunctioning prop, forgotten line, costume disaster, and unexpected burst of laughter became another reminder that creativity often flourishes under pressure. Those challenges didn't weaken the franchise, they helped shape its personality. More than half a century after Captain Kirk first set course for the final frontier, Star Trek continues inspiring audiences around the world. Its stories encourage curiosity, hope, and the belief that humanity can overcome even the most difficult obstacles through cooperation and imagination. Behind every legendary episode lies a collection of unforgettable bloopers, technical disasters, and spontaneous moments that almost derailed production but instead became part of television history. In the end, those impossible filming days may have created something even more valuable than perfect episodes. They created memories, friendships, and stories that continue entertaining fans long after the cameras stopped rolling. And perhaps that's the greatest Star Trek adventure of all, not just the journeys across the stars, but the remarkable people who laughed their way through every challenge to make those journeys possible.